Hi guys, welcome to Free Tutorial TV and Python course for beginners. In this video I'm going to discuss about creating of class and object. And by now if you haven't seen my last video in which I have discussed what is object-oriented programming and what are classes, I will highly recommend you to watch previous video because this will be a continuation of that video. So let's create a class in Python. So for that I will create a new project. So let's create a new project in PyCharm. So just click on File here and then click on New Project and then the project name I'm going to give. Here is OAP. And then I will just click on Create. A new project is created, name OAP. So now you can see we have empty project here. And inside this project let's create a new Python file, so right click on the project and then New. And then we are going to create a new file and let's create a class name car. I'm going to name the file name as car because we are going to create that car class. Now in order to create a class in Python you use our keyword class and then you give the name to your class. So that class name in our case is car. And then you give the colon. For example, I had write here a keyword called pass. Now when you write this keyword after the declaration of a class, this means that it is empty class. You can also use the pass keyword to create an empty method. So this keyword pass is used to create an empty class or an empty method here after the class declaration. Let's see how we can create an instance of a class. So it's really easy to create an instance of a class. Let's create a first object and I'm going to name it as Ford, which is a car brand, and then you use your car class name and use these parentheses here. So here Ford is an object. Or you can also say it's an instance of that class car. In a similar way we can create multiple objects. For example, Honda is another car brand and you can create the Honda object using this class car. Once again you can create a new object, for example, Audi. And then you can once again use this car class to create this object. So what we have done now, we have created 3 objects from that class car. Now in the previous video I told you that you can associate some data with your object. So let's associate some data. So for example, Ford we can associate attribute called speed. So we can assign the speed, for example 200 here for Ford. Honda we can assign the speed to, let's say, 220. And for Audi we can assign the speed, let's say 250. So speed is called the attribute. And whenever you create the empty class using this pass keyword you can add these attributes on there. Fly. So you can see we have added these attributes after the declaration of the class and after the creation of the objects. That adds some more attribute to these instances or the object. So a car can have the color, so I'm going to write color. And the Ford car is assigned the red color. And let me just copy and paste here, and let's say the Honda have the blue color. And Audi have a sign of black color. So once again color is an attribute here. Now if you want to print these attributes you can use this print method. And then for example we want to print the speed of Ford and the color of Ford. We write code as it is. Now let's run the Python code. So in order to run this code, the first of all, you create a new project. Then a new Python file. You need to right click on this file. Then click on Run the Files. The file will execute and output will be shown in the console terminal. So you can see now the result is printed here. First is the speed. And second is the color of an instance Ford. Similarly you can print the color and speed of Honda and all the objects also. Now if you want to change some attribute it's also possible. So let's say I want to change the speed of 4 objects. I'm going to use for.speed once again. This time I want to assign 300 speed to this attribute. We also want to change the color. For the fourth object, I'm going to just choose for color. This time I want to use the color blue here. And let's once again we will try to print the color speed of the object forward. Now you can see this result. So before the speed was 200 and the new speed is 300. Where the object forward. Before the color was red and the new color is blue for this object forward. Now if you have followed the last video, this speed and color is the data. So speed and color are the variables which holds some data inside them, but still we haven't added any behavior or methods to our class car, and that we will do in the next video. Now let's create a new class because our understanding classes in any language is difficult. So let me give you another example. So this time I'm going to create a new Python class and I'm going to name Python class as a rectangle and then press OK. We do create this class, and to create a class you already know you use the keyword and there. Name of the class and then the colon. And we will also make this class an empty class using this pass keyword. And in order to create an instance I'm going to just write the right one, which is the first object using the rectangle class, and then I'm going to create right to, which is the second object using this rectangle class. And now what are the attributes which we can relate to the rectangle? Or rectangle have a width and a height. So let's add the width and height. So let me use the first object and let's say height is 24 for the rectangle one. And then we are going to use the second object. And once again we are going to add the height for the second rectangle. Let's say the height of second rectangle is 30. Similarly we can add the weight to the rectangle. So width is equal to, let's say it's 40, and the rect2 object have the width. Let's say 10. So what we have done here, we have created a rectangle class and then we have created two instances of the rectangle class, rect1 and rect2, that are also called objects. And then we have added some attributes to our objects which are height and weight. Now let's say you want to calculate the area of these two rectangles. I can use the print method. And then what is the area of the rectangle is the multiplication of their height and the width. Now I can use this rectangle one object and then I can call the height and weight of this object. And this will give me the area of the rectangle one using this multiplication operator. Similarly I will do the same for the object 2 here. And let's run the code, and if you remember what we need to do if we create a new Python, we need to right click on the file and then take on run. Now once the file is running you can choose from here which file you want to run. At least once you would need to right click on the file and just click on run or whatever file name you have, so you can see that area of rectangle 1 is 800 and the area of rectangle 2 is 300. This is how you can create a very simple class in Python. In the next video I'm going to show you how to add behaviors to your class. That means how to add method to your class and how to use this method to manipulate this data of which we have provided here in the form of attributes. I hope you have about class and object in Python. Visit my channel and please keep watching these videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. And do share the video. I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.